The First Minister is following in the footsteps of both Nicola Sturgeon and Humza Yousaf by refusing to fly the Union flag more than once a year, while the European flag will be fluttering every day. John Swinney has been labelled petty after continuing the SNP ban on flying the Union flag on Scottish Government buildings, except for once a year. He has demanded that the European flag be flown daily despite Scotland leaving the European Union over 4 years ago. Nicola Sturgeon started the knack tradition of relegating the emblem of the United Kingdom from flying above publicly owned premises including St Andrew's House and Victoria Quay. This was continued by Humza Yousaf in his short and failed tenure as First Minister. And now the Scottish Government has published its updated flag flying guidance, which includes the Union flag being sidelined again in favour of the European one. This policy was blasted by the Scottish Tories, who pointed out that Mr Swinney was not the change candidate he promised to be. Scottish Conservative Shadow Constitution, External Affairs and Constitution Secretary Megan Gallagher MSP said, John Swinney, just like his disastrous predecessors, clearly wants to play petty politics on the issue of flags, rather than actually focusing on the real issues. On July 4, voters across Scotland have the opportunity to boot out the SNP and vote for Scottish Conservative candidates who are focused on filling potholes, not flying flags. The guidance states that the Saltire, European and the Ukrainian flags should be flown every day from St Andrew's House, with the former two also being flown from Victoria Quay, with various exceptions depending on special days. These include 4 days when the rainbow flag will be utilised, which is the start of LGBT History Month, International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, Edinburgh Pride and Glasgow Pride. His Majesty the King may give a special command to fly flags with the government's protocol, and honours team will inform the relevant authorities of this. The official flag of the UK is only being flown on Remembrance Day despite it representing all Brits, with it collecting dust in the cupboard otherwise. It is a direct request from Mr Swinney for the European flag to be utilised from his publicly owned buildings. The guidance reads, the First Minister has instructed that the European flag is flown from SG buildings. This will be on a daily basis except for specific flag flying dates. He has made joining the European Union one of the main tenets of his general election campaign as he bemoaned Brexit. This is despite it potentially taking more than a decade for this to happen if he succeeds in breaking up the UK. The transgender flag will be flown once on Transgender Remembrance Day on November 20, meaning it will appear on government buildings the same number of times as the Union flag. The other flags to be flown alongside the Saltire on single days are the Commonwealth flag, the Armed Forces Day flag and the Red Ensign for Merchant Navy Day. In addition, a World AIDS Day flag and a Autistic Pride flag will be flown from St Andrew's House, which has 4 flagpoles, only on their respective days. Following a change requested some years ago by Alex Salmond, Scottish Government buildings now fly the Royal Banner, Superior, on royal birthdays and occasions. This is the yellow flag with a red lion in the middle of it, and this will feature on 7 days in 2024, including the late Queen's birthday and her death date, known as the accession. These guidelines only apply to the SNP executive and its related agencies, with local authorities allowed to decide their own flag flying policy.